Today, we discuss the lies of Ryan O'Ryan and his attacks on President Trump.
What did he do in the first 2 years? He slow rolled Donald Trump's agenda. Okay, and he claims to be a conservative, and yet he slow rolled everything Donald Trump tried. So Trump got almost nothing done in his 4 years. I mean, he got a lot done, but how much did he have to do by the presidency instead of hammering with Congress?
2020 left Republicans powerless in Washington. Even worse, it was horrifying to see a presidency come to such a dishonorable and disgraceful end. So, once again, we conservatives find ourselves at a crossroads. And here's the reality that we have to face. If the conservative cause depends on the populist appeal of one personality or of second-rate imitations, then we're not going anywhere. Voters looking for Republican leaders want to see independence and mettle. They will not be impressed by the sight of yes men and flatterers flocking to Mar-a-Lago. We win majorities by directing our loyalty and respect to voters and by staying faithful to the conservative principles that unite us. This was true even when the person leading our movement was as impressive, polished, and agreeable as they come.
That's all I can stomach, brother. I mean, this guy is unconscionable, and it's the exact example of what I was talking about before.
And what did he do in the first 2 years? He slow rolled Donald Trump's agenda. Okay, and he claims to be a conservative, and yet he slow rolled everything Donald Trump tried. So Trump got almost nothing done in his 4 years. I mean, he got a lot done, but how much did he have to do by the presidency instead of hammering with Congress? They had Congress. He won, and they had Congress. So anyway, here goes from the desk of the statement of Donald J. Trump, 45th President of the United States. Paul Ryan, who became a lame duck's Speaker of the House, lost all vote-getting capability with the people he represented in Wisconsin and was the single biggest factor, other than Romney himself, for the monumental Romney-Ryan loss in the presidential race of 2012. I got more votes by far, 75 million, than any sitting president in history. And he is now speaking to other Republicans, telling them how to win elections. Interestingly, I was in the great state of Wisconsin when they booed him off the podium, and I literally had to come and rescue him. Ryan should be instead telling them how to stop the cheating of elections, and that we would have won if Republican leadership fought the way the Democrats did. It was the day that Ryan went on the board of Fox. Fox will never be the same. That Fox totally lost its way and became a much different place with millions of its greatest supporters fleeing for good. Paul Ryan has been a curse to the Republican Party. He has no clue as to what it needs to be done for our country, and was a weak and ineffective leader, and spends all of his time fighting Republicans as opposed to Democrats who are destroying our country. As a Republican, having Paul Ryan on your side almost guarantees a loss for both you, the party, and America itself. And that's from the desk of Paul.
Very good with the hand movements.
Right. I got to work on more my Trump.
You got that. You got that pretty good. Don't forget the.
I didn't do the dance.
Yeah,
so anyway,
you didn't do the dance. Yeah.
Now at issue.
Wait, John. Before you say that, we have a message here. Look, there you go. If you look at your screen, it says, "Hey, it's Mitt 2.0."
Yeah. Exactly.
He was his vice president, right? Paul Ryan was his vice president, so it makes sense.
Right. But now it brings up this question because see, there's two theories of republicanism, right? When you get elected, are you a vassal of the people, which is what Trump would expect you to be, or any normal person, or are the people your vassal? Paul Ryan and the deep state in Washington think that once they get elected, then they can do whatever they want. So whatever promises they made to get elected, they don't matter. So that's not representational government. Now, in the middle of the Tea Party debacle, I was taking a certain young man down to Roman and this is before you had earphones, and then he had to actually listen to what I had on the radio, and it was Paul Bennett, and it was Bill Bennett's show, Good Morning America, and he wasn't on it, and he was being replaced by another guy who was allegedly a conservative, and it's a shame, Santorum, senator from Pennsylvania, who was against pro-life and fought well for that, but basically got subverted. And I met him once. He's a nice guy. He was a hard worker, but he easily got subverted and got turned into a Washington deep stater. And anyway, he's on Bill Bennett's show defending this nonsense, the sellout of the Republican Party, the sellout of the Tea Party specifically, and this nonsense legislation that came up with. Anyway, some poor Tea Party guy calls in, and he's explaining to him, and he's arguing with him that this is, I think it was at 100 million that they said, and this is not what they worked their butts off to get people like him in Congress to do. This is not what they needed to take it to Obama and kneecap him, which is what they sent them to do. Remember, this is the time we had all the first really grassroots movement in a long, long time in American politics, the Tea Party. They were out there at the City Hall. They had all their signs. They picked up all their trash, and they did that, and they fought through, to give them this power. And this is what the rhinos squandered, right? So anyway, in the back and forth, at one point, the guy goes, well, wait a minute. We sent you guys to Washington, as our representatives to do this. And Santorum, says, fights. He says, no. You don't understand. And then the guy goes, wait a minute. We're a democracy. We sent representatives there to represent us. And Santorum goes, no, we're not. We're a republic. And to which young man sitting next to me goes, no, we're not. We're a constitutional republic. That's a big difference. A democracy is Greece. If 2 out of 3 people say you can rape, you can rape. A republic is Rome. Rome fell with because eventually the Senate became all about themselves, and we're just became another empire. We are something different. We're a constitutional republic, meaning the founding documents based on God and the idea that there is a place that no man, no majority or no minority or no office can take these rights away, whether the Fourth Amendment, whether your Second Amendment, whether it's your First Amendment. There are rights that no government, no man can take away from you. And they are given to you by God. And we instituted this constitutional republic. So the young man next to me, who would go on to a stellar career before he retired from the United States military, got it, even as a young 17-year-old, something that Santorum did not get, even though he'd been in the Senate, and that a lot of these creeps seem to forget. We pay their check. They work for us, not the other way around. It's a duty and an oath. If they say they're going to Congress to cut budgets, they better do that every single time. And so I came up with this little litmus test to try on somebody who might run for Congress. I know that you did run for Congress one time, so we'll see.
Before you ask me the questions, I just want to make the point that Ryan said this statement, and the people I've been arguing with on the individual I've been arguing with on Facebook makes the point that they say that we're basically bootlickers to Trump. But what they don't recognize is we didn't join President Trump. President Trump joined us. We've said it before. I'll say it again. He came to our way of thinking, saw what it is that we're doing and what we needed, and then he joined us in the fight. We didn't join him in the fight. So that's a key point, which Ryan kind of tries to mock in his statement when he's saying that he doesn't respect the voters and the loyalty of the voters. So go ahead, brother, ask me your questions.
So this is to see if you're an appropriate candidate for office come this next election cycle. Do you think Trump should run in 2024?
Yes.
Are you pro Magna 100%?
Yes.
Do you think
Hell
Trump?
Yes.
Do you think Trump is vulgar?
No.
Trump or Jesus Christ?
Jesus Christ.
Try to trick you up. Trump or the truth?
Trump. The truth is the same thing.
Ah, that's right. I'll strike. We'll forget we didn't hear the first one. Second one, right. All right. Ready? If you were an LGBTQRST
Oh boy.
cistrans, would
Oh,
you
boy.
propagate Trump genes by having a Trump baby?
I don't even know how to answer that, John. What?
Yes or no?
Kind of
It's
look.
a yes or no question. Would you
Would
have
I?
a Trump
Would I
baby?
want Trump genes? I would want Trump genes no matter what.
No. Would you have a Trump baby? Yes or no?
I don't even know, John. I have no idea what the answer. I'm not even sure what the question is.
Would
Can you
you
rephrase the
have a
question?
Trump baby?
Yes. Well,
No,
I mean, a
you
guy.
idiot.
We
You're a
can't have a
man.
guy.
You can't have a
Yeah,
baby.
I have a baby. What are you talking about?
You can't have a baby,
I
you
can't
idiot.
physically have one, but I can take care of one.
All right, you pass.
That last one, I throw the shade on that one. That one is, I think there's something I have to make sure that, that you didn't clarify the question. You're trying to subvert the question there.
All right.
That is very unclear, brother. Unclear question.